now we are studying about arcs of a circle. Okay, now we know that first thing we learn what is the meaning of a chord, what is the meaning of a sequence, tangent, diameter, radius, all this we have learned. Let me just draw a circle first. Suppose this is your circle and I draw a line which is passing through the circle. So a line that is passing through the circle is called as your secant. S-E-C-A-N-T. A line that is passing through your circle is called as a secant. Suppose I name this point starting with circle, this point of contact. Now this secant produces a chord also. So AB is nothing but a chord. Okay. Now this AB chord is dividing this circle into two arcs. A part of the circumference of a circle is called as an arc. A part of the circumference of the circle is called as an arc. So AB has divided the circle into two arcs. Which arc? First arc is this outside, the bigger arc, and the second one is down here, the smaller arc. And in geometrical language, we call this as the major arc and this as the minor arc. Suppose I give a name to the arc. Suppose I name this point as X and I name this point as Y. So arc AXB is called as your major arc. Why major arc? Because you can see it is covering more part of the circle than the smaller arc is covering. And arc AYB is called as your minor arc. Okay, so we know what is the meaning of major arc and we know now what is the meaning of minor arc. We name an arc. Now this is just the way which I have taught you, but the actual way we name an arc is by writing it in either a bracket or we write it in small alphabets. That is arc AXB and arc AYB. Okay, this is about minor arc and major arc. Now measure of an arc. Now if you see, the total measure of a circle is nothing but 360 degrees. Okay, I'm talking about in degrees. If you measure the entire circle is 360 degrees. How we know? We tell somebody, no, if you want just turn around 360 degree, or why are you turning 360 degree round? So whatever is round totally is 360 degree. So this is the maximum part of the 360, this is the minimum part. Now suppose I divide this into two parts. So if we'll come to know by this that arc AXB plus arc AYB is nothing but 360 degrees, right? This measure, this arc's measure plus this arc's measure is 360 degrees. So by this we come to know that measure of an arc is always in degrees. Okay, measure of an arc is also always in degrees. How it is, measure of an angle is in degrees, same way measure of an arc is also in degrees. And the arcs are divided into two parts. One is your major arc and one is your minor arc. So both together is 360. So suppose for example I say arc AYB is equal to 100 degrees. Okay, so how much will be arc AXB? Can anyone tell me? Arc AYB is 100. How much will be arc AXB?
360 degree, 260 degree.
Very good. How we came to know? Arc AXB plus AYB is 360, and if AYB is 100, so AXB is 360 minus 100, that is equal to 260. You will get some similar type of sums also to find measure of the arc. One arc will be given to you. To find another arc, it will be arc. Then measure of a semicircular arc. Semicircle means half the circle. So semicircular arc means half of the full circle's measure, that is half of 360, that is equal to 180. degree. So measure of a semicircular arc. How we come to know a semicircular arc? Suppose the same secant that is there here or the same chord is there. Suppose it would be a diameter. Suppose it will be passing through the center. So the measure of each arc, there will be two arcs will be there. The measure of each arc would be equal to 180 degrees. Okay. Next we see congruence of arcs. Two arcs will be congruent how? When they have equal measure. Suppose there is a circle here. Okay. Let me give some namings to the arc. Suppose I say this is A, X, B, Y. Suppose I say that arc AX is equal to 50 degrees. Arc XB is equal to 50 degrees. Now, whenever we are writing measure of an arc, so we cannot write only arc, only arc. We have to write M and in bracket arc, M and in bracket arc. What is the meaning of M? Not monkey. M means measure. When I say measure of an arc, then only we know that we are writing something in degrees here. We are writing something in degrees. So measure of an arc AX is 50, measure of an arc XB is 50. So if you see both the arcs have equal measure, so therefore measure arm or measure of an arc AX is equal to measure of arc XB, or we can even say arc AX is equal to arc XB. So if two arcs have equal measure, they are said to be congruent to each other. Next, some properties of measures of arc. Chords that are corresponding to congruent arcs are also congruent. That means, suppose we'll draw a circle now. This all we have studied in your previous standard. We are just doing some revision. I draw a circle, I draw a chord here, one, I draw another chord here, two, and I draw another chord here, three. Okay, now I name this A, B, C. This is X, this is Y, and this is Z. Okay, and now suppose I tell you that measure of chord AB is equal to measure of chord CB. So according to our property, we have learned that if two chords are congruent, please pay attention. If two chords are congruent, then the arcs which are corresponding to those chords are also congruent. That means chord AB, suppose it is congruent to chord CB. So what is the chord arc opposite chord AB? What is the arc opposite chord AB? What is the arc opposite chord AB? The arc opposite chord AB is this arc, that is chord, that is the arc AXB. So measure of arc AXB will also be equal to this arc, measure of arc CY. Okay, I hope you all understood. If two chords are congruent, then the arcs which are corresponding to them are also congruent. Similarly, vice versa also, if we say from year to year, if two arcs are congruent, then the chords which are corresponding to them are also congruent. Okay, so this is called about the property of corresponding chords to corresponding arcs. Okay, now this is for this particular circle only. If suppose the same thing is for another circle, then it won't be same. In the same circle, or if two circles are congruent and there are some congruent arcs, then it is valid. Suppose I'm drawing a circle here and I draw another circle somewhere far and I draw a chord. So even if that chord is 10 centimeter and this chord also is 10, then we cannot say both are congruent because the circle's measures are different. It is not the same. Okay, till here if you have understood, please type clear in the chat box. Please type clear in the chat box if you have understood till here. Okay, great. So we continue our last property, which is called suppose I draw a circle, I draw a center here, and I'm drawing a radius here, and I'm drawing a chord here. Okay, pay attention. O, A, B, and I name this as X. Okay, so now we have two radiuses, OA and OB, and obviously both are congruent because they are on the same circle. Okay, and we have a chord AB, and we have arc AXB. So we have a new property to learn, that central angle. If you want, you can write this down. It is not there in your textbook. Central angle is equal to the corresponding minor arc. Central angle is equal to the corresponding minor arc. This property is also called as definition of minor arc. We can even, whenever we use this property in a Prussian theorem, we can even give this a reason of definition of minor arc, or we can even give the same reason which I have written on your screen. Central angle is equal to the corresponding minor arc. Now what does it mean? Now if you see, there is a central angle here, angle AOB. Can you see there is an angle AOB here? This angle, because it is an angle and passing through the center of the circle, it is called as your central angle. And whatever arc it corresponds to, that means this central angle, if you see in front, what is the arc it is corresponding to? Arc AXB. It is not corresponding to the major arc. It is corresponding to the minor arc. Okay. So imagine this is a mouth that is open, and this is a piece of pizza that is there in your mouth. You see, this is called as even a sector. Okay. So this angle is corresponding to this arc, which is exactly opposite. So when this angle corresponds to this arc, that means measure of angle AOB is equal to the measure of arc AXB. Okay, always. This is a property. Measure of angle AOB is always equal to the measure of the corresponding arc AXB. So that means if suppose AOB is 60 degree, then Zara, what is the measure of arc AXB?
So 360 minus 60. Is it?
Read again, Zara, what I wrote here. Central angle.
Yes, sir. Central angle is
Wait,
equal
wait.
to the corresponding angle. So both the angles will be equal, sir?
Equal to the corresponding minor arc. So measure of angle AOB is 60. So what is measure of arc AXB?
60.
Thank you, Zara. Thank you so much.
Sorry, sir.
60 degrees. So both are 60. It is equal. I did not speak this number anywhere when I was explaining about central angle. Okay. So there is no connection. If you say that 360 degree minus 60, that this will be the measure of the major arc. It won't be measure of the minor arc. But when there is a central angle given to us, we know that suppose the central angle is whatever measure, opposite minor arc is also the same measure. Vice versa, suppose the minor arc measure is 80 degree, so center angle also will be 80. Central angle is equal to the corresponding minor arc. Okay, I hope I have written this property down.